Hello and welcome to our new, what do we call it, newscast. We're going to tell you a little bit about the news from the last week in Iceland, what's been happening and stuff like that. We don't really have a name for it, so if you have a suggestion, please comment below and of course like and share us if you like the content. This is Polly here, she's going to help me a little bit. The days are short in Iceland, so we are like, I'm going to try to walk her at the same time. She's like brilliant. We go outside, do this and walk her. But yeah, I'm going to go over some few news. You can find them all on grapevine.is. But yeah, let's just start, I guess. Wait, Polly. Yeah? Huh? So, there are 18 active COVID-19 infections in Iceland currently. 2 are at hospital, and keep in mind these numbers are from yesterday. 2 are at hospital, but 578 are in quarantine. And none are in critical danger, and we have a little bit over 800 confirmed cases since the beginning of the epidemic in the end of last February. We have had 0 cases 3 days in a row. So, which is like from Friday. We don't have the number for today, which means that that we are like, I guess, beating it. I mean, I think it needs to be like 14 or 15 days in a row that there have to be 0 cases, and then we are officially done with it. But it's a good start, and yeah. Chief epidemiologist Þórólfur Guðnason has announced that the next phase of easing COVID-19 restriction will begin at May of 25th, a little bit earlier than they were expecting. They were going to do it in June, but they decided not to because everything is going so well. Yeah, this is earlier than expected. Previously, public authorities had suggested that it would happen in June. The new date was announced in the final daily press conference last week. The exact details of the second phase are yet to be released, and to a certain extent will be determined by the success of the first stage that began of the May of 4th. It's likely the gathering ban will be relaxed, perhaps to allow groups of up to 100 people to meet or even more. They're talking about even the 100 will be 200. So it's like everything is going in the right direction, I guess. Þórólfur also hopes to reopen fitness centers and gyms on this date. There has been increasing pressure from gym owners to allow them to reopen the business. Means they are like, this is basically one guy and he owns like 90% of like gyms in Iceland. This is world class. And he's been very unhappy how slowly this has been, because the swimming pools are actually opened on the 18th of May. Which is a godsend for Icelanders, because we absolutely love our swimming pools, and this is what is literally killing me, not to be able to go to swim. Got you. The government has renewed its agreement with Icelandair to ensure flights continue operating to between Keflavík and Stockholm, Boston and London Heathrow. The airline will run 22 flights, and from these 3 locations before the agreement is next reconsidered on 16th of May. So that means that it could be that we will ease a restriction as the flight ban from the 16th of May, but it's yet to be seen. As reported, the struggling airline has laid off over 2,000 employees. It's 95% of its workforce. In recent weeks, and is reporting several losses. Even our financial minister says that if nothing changes, Icelandair will go bankrupt. But I'm not sure if that would be allowed from the government, because it's our only way to and from the country in flight. Yeah, however, the government is reluctant to grant Icelandair further special concessions. The government has only agreed to these loans to ensure the bare minimum of transport to and from Iceland continues during the pandemic. This is grim news now. It's not violent in description or anything, but could perhaps people could be startled by this, but Reykjavík City Council Child Protection Service have received a record number of reports of child abuse this year. In April alone, the agency received 468 reports involving 332 children. This is a lot in Iceland. This is the highest number of calls received in a month since early 2018. Authorities are also particularly concerned about a marked rise in domestic violence. Other countries are feeling this also. I've listened to the podcast from In Focus and Guardian, and this is also a point there. On average, the agency received 18 reports of domestic violence per month in 2018 and 19. However, the agency received 21 reports in March and 46 reports in April. Rates of domestic violence in the first 4 months of the year have not been this high for over a decade, and we suspect that there have been 2 murders in Iceland that are connected to domestic violence. Reykjavík City Council also reports that incidents involving alcohol or drug abuse and children are projected to be 20 to 25% higher this year in comparison to 2019. And on to the positive news. We have to have some of them, right? What do you say, Polly? Ready? Yeah. Reykjavík City, for positive news, Helga Guðmundsdóttir, a 102-year-old resident of the Berg Care home in Bolungarvík, it's in the west of Iceland, the West Fjords, has become the oldest person in Iceland to survive COVID-19 infection. She has described her experience of the virus as very boring in an interview with vísir.is. Speaking to Fréttablaðið, Helga's son, Agnar H. Gunnarsson, explained that she was born in 1917, which is actually the same year that the Spanish flu pandemic, and she has also twice survived tuberculosis. Imagine that. Helga fell ill with COVID-19 in April, but was pronounced recovered on May 2nd. Helga hopes to celebrate her 103rd birthday later this month with her closest family members. The Berg Care home caught the country's attention in late March when it became the epicenter of Westfjord coronavirus outbreak. Tragically, 2 residents have died from the virus and many more elderly people and carers have fallen ill. So, in short, we're doing fine fighting the virus actually. Things are becoming more lively, much better than before. People are more outside. Icelanders are like, we are consuming a lot, we're buying a lot of stuff, so it doesn't really feel like anything has changed right now. It just went back to the same as always. And I think that if everything goes according to the plan, we could actually open our borders in some extension in after 16th of May, but it will always be with some restriction. People don't know exactly how it will be, but I mean, we're pretty positive that there will some of it will be changed. But then again, all that will come to Iceland will have to quarantine for, I think, 14 or 15 days. So that's that's a bummer, basically. So if you want to come to Iceland, you'll probably have to quarantine in both here and your own home country when you come back. So it's like almost a month in quarantine for a week of vacation or whatever. I mean, it's definitely worth it, but I mean, I guess it's like hard work-wise and so on. So this is I want to remind you perhaps on our steady in a high five club, where you can actually support Reykjavík Grapevine's news team. We've been doing incredibly well actually. You have been very supportive already, and we are incredibly thankful for this. So please just consider it. It's your support is what means the world to us. It's all about that, and yeah, Art wants me to go on this now. Okay, and goodbye.